Today we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. Prior to today, as you can recall, if we were given something like 5x squared plus 10x plus 5 is equal to negative 3x squared plus 2 minus 4x, we would go about solving it first for 0. So we would subtract 3x squared, subtract 2, and add 4x from both sides, and that would give us 5x squared plus 3x squared is equal to 8x squared. 10x plus 4x gives you 14x, and 5 minus 2 gives you 3 on the other side. Each one of these cancels out, boop, 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 and we are left with 0. From here, we would list what our a, b, and c values are. So we have a equals 8, b equals 14, c equals 3. We would multiply a and c to get 24, and b equals 14. We're finding two numbers that are going to multiply to ac and add to b. So if we list our factors on the side, we had 1 and 24. That doesn't work. 2 and 12, that does work. So 2 and 12, we set up x plus blank over blank, x plus blank over blank, and we're able to fill in our numbers on the top and our a value on the bottom. Then we simplify or reduce the fractions, and then with any remaining denominator, we're going to swing that into the front, so that leaves us with the two factors 2x plus 3 times 4x minus 1 equals 0. From here, we set each factor equal to 0, and we solve, so we get that x equals negative 3 over 2, or x equals negative 1/4. These were the same numbers that we could have seen up here with opposite signs. Now we're going to talk about the quadratic formula, this big thing right here, the quadratic formula. What I want to point out is that the quadratic formula is just another method to use when solving. It can be used for any quadratic, just like before. However, in this special example, this was what we call factorable. So we were easily able to find a, c, and b and find two numbers that multiply. However, not all quadratics are like this. So the quadratic formula helps us to be able to solve a quadratic when it is not factorable. The formula looks like this. It says that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Now you're going to hear me sing for a second, just like my math teacher sang to me. It's probably a song you don't know, but it goes just like this. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. That's how I remembered it. You can make it go to a different song. That was Macy Gray, I Try, but anything will work. Now, here's how we actually use this formula. If we're given that same equation that we used in the first problem, so we have 8x squared plus 14x plus 3 equals 0, assuming that we already solved it. We're going to find what our a, b, and c values are, just like we did in the beginning. So we have a equals 8, b equals 14, and c equals 3. Remember that we can find these because the standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is that constant on the end. So once we've identified, we have a is equal to 8 because it's the coefficient of x squared, b is equal to 14 because it's the coefficient of x, and c is 3 because it's the constant. We're going to plug all of these values right into the formula. So if we have x equals negative b, well, if our b value is 14, we're going to have negative 14 plus or minus, and then a big square root sign. Now b squared is equal to 14, notice how I put parentheses around it, squared, minus 4, open my parentheses. What's our a value? Our a value is 8. And what's our C value? Our C value is 3. All over 2 times our A value, which again is 8. All right, from here, I like to simplify inside the square root first. So we write everything again equals negative 14 plus or minus the square root of 14 squared, which is 196, minus 4 times 8 is 32, and 32 times 3 is 96. And it's all over 2 times 8, which is 16. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we have some more room. From here, we're going to keep simplifying. So we have negative 14 plus or minus, and then 196 minus 96 is the square root of 100, all over 16. Okay. And then simplifying again, we have negative 14 plus or minus the square root of 100 is 10, we know that, all over 16. Now we're going to talk about this plus or minus sign, which you've never seen before. What this plus or minus says is that we actually have 2 problems. The first one says, well, we're going to do negative 14 plus 10 over 16. And the second one says we're going to do negative 14 minus 10 over 16. So we have negative 14 plus or minus 10 is equal to 16. Now, we're going to evaluate these, and we have negative 14 plus 10 gives us negative 4 over 16. When we simplify that, we get negative 1/4. And over here, negative 14 minus 10 gives us negative 24 over 16, which if we simplify gives us negative 3/2. Now, from before, in the original problem, right here, we see that our answers were x equals negative 3/2 and x equals negative 1/4. These are the same 2 numbers, negative 1/4 and negative 3/2, as we found over here. So, when 8x squared plus 14x plus 3 is equal to 0, we know both by factoring and by the quadratic formula that x will equal negative 1/4 and negative 3/2. The last thing that I want to point out is what this means. When we are factoring, why are we doing this? Why are we solving for x? So just in this little tiny graph in the corner, I just want to point out that if we were to graph this, if we were to plug it in on Desmos, we would get some sort of graph that looks like this. Now these x values, it says when the entire thing is equal to 0. So these x values represent when y is equal to 0, which would mean graphically it would be both this point here and this point here. Because we have solved it, we know that this graph will intersect the x-axis at x equals, and let's think about this for a second, is negative 1/4 going to be further to the left on the number line, or is negative 3/2 going to be further to the left on the number line? Well, since negative 3/2 is a larger value, it's going to be further to the left. So x equals negative 3/2 is right here, and this one would be x equals negative 1/4. The next problem we're going to look at is 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. I want to point out and stress this. You should always check to see if it is factorable. That is the easiest method. It's the most efficient, so you should check. So really quick on the side, we have a, c, and b. We know that a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to negative 4. So 2 times negative 4 gives us negative 8, and b is 3. So our numbers, if we are thinking about this, the factors of 8 are either 1 and 8, and that does not give us 3, 2 and 4, and that will not give us 3. So this is not factorable. okay? Which means we don't have a choice. In the first problem, we had a choice on what we wanted to use, if we wanted to factor or use the quadratic formula. However, in this case, it is not factorable. We must use the quadratic formula. So, recalling again, the formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus big square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, we already decided what a, b, and c are, but I'm just going to write them on the side even bigger so I don't forget. We have a equals 2, b equals 3, and c equals negative 4. So we can start plugging in. So we have x equals negative, and our b value is 3, plus or minus the big square root, remember those parentheses, and b squared. So b again is 3, and we're going to close them and square it, minus 4, and our a value is 2, and our c value is negative 4. And that's all over 2 times our a value, which again is 2. All right, from here we can start to simplify it. So we have negative 3, we can just leave as negative 3, plus or minus, and inside that square root. 3 squared is going to be 9. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, and negative 8 times negative 4 is going to be positive 32. All over 2 times 2, which is 4. All right, simplifying again, we have negative 3 plus or minus, and then 9 and 32 is the square root of 41, all over 4. And then, like we did before, we're going to split this up. Now notice that I didn't keep going because 41 wasn't like 100 in the last problem. We didn't easily know the square root of it. So we're just going to stop there and split them up. So we have negative 3 plus the square root of 41 all over 4. Or we have negative 3 minus the square root of 41 all over 4. Now, in delta math, and in a whole bunch of other situations, you're either going to be told to give the rational expression, which in this case you would stop right here. These would be your two answers. Notice that this is a number and this is a number. We just don't know them exactly. In middle school, you learned how to approximate square roots, so you could say, well, I know that square root of 41 is somewhere between 36 and 49, which would be 6 squared and 7 squared, so it's going to be somewhere around 7, and you can estimate, but we can just leave them and plug them into delta math just like this. Or we could plug these values right into our calculator. So we would type in negative 3 plus the square root of 41 and push enter, and then divide that by 4, and you will get approximately 0.85. And then again, negative 3 minus the square root of 41, push enter, and then divide it by 4, and we will get approximately negative 2.35. And again, these are our approximate answers, so if they ask you for a decimal form, you can just plug this in. On this last one, I'm just going to assume that it is not factorable, and I'm going to jump straight into the quadratic formula. So we're going to identify A, B, and C first. So we know that A equals 6, B equals negative 2, don't forget those negatives, and C is equal to negative 5. From here, I always write down the quadratic formula. So I have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Plugging everything in, we get x equals negative, and our b value is -2, plus or minus the square root of b squared. So our b value again is -2, and we're going to square that, minus 4 times our a value, which is 6, and our c value, which is -5. And this is all over 2 times our a value, which is 6 again. Alright, from here we can start simplifying, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So I have -2 will give you just a +2, plus or minus, and inside of our radical, -2 squared is 4. -4 times +6 is -24. And -24 times -5 gives you +120. Looks like I don't need all of this radical. Get rid of some of that. And then we're going to divide that all by 2 times 6, which is 12. Alright, simplifying a bit more, we have 2 plus or minus the square root of 124, which again is not a square number, over 12. So we're going to split this into our two equations. And we have 2 plus root 124 over 12. And we have 2 minus root 124 over 12. Again, if you were going to write it just as a radical expression, you could leave it just as these two right here, this and this. But if you wanted to plug it into your calculator, we have, whoops, approximately 1.09 and approximately -0.76. So there's our two answers using the quadratic formula, both in decimal and radical form.